I'm really happy to see the smiling faces of children,
Yes, sir.
and yeah, it's lovely.
Thank you, sir.
So I want to begin with by showing you a montage of some of our films. Like Aditi mentioned that I've been part of making of almost 450 odd films by now, and I would like to share a glimpse of some of them to you, so that some of them you may remember, some of them maybe your parents would remember, but that is something that you I would like to share with you. Um, so that would be the first thing before I show you Tokri. Right, right away, going into it.
डॉक्टर हेल्थ गारंटी 20 साल की मिलेगी और टैक्स की बचत भी। के मींस हेल्थ गारंटी 20 साल की मिलेगी और टैक्स की बचत भी। कई भी रे घोड़ी ना खाली रावली একটা ঘড়ি তো আছে অন্তত মার কাছে ক্যামেরা। चाची की माँ पड़ोसन और टीम पता नहीं ओ ये रही टीम। Sweet like chocolate, hold it in a bar, hold it hostage. Take it back when you loving it, don't drop it. ख्वाहिशों का डेरा है सितारों के पार कहीं। Say hello to my little friend. World's best head massage. ओए रुक जा मेरे भाई। ऑफिस। अब आप अपना चेहरा यहाँ भी क्लीन कर सकते, वो भी बिना पानी। Impossible. तो सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग में काम आएगा ना। ओ बैठ जी। शेरबत पंख। सर बादलों में मछली। WHO still recommends breastfeeding, as benefits outweigh the potential risk of transmitting the virus.
Okay, so that is a snippet of the works that I've been part of, little a glimpse of the works that I've been part of. One of the things that we take care a lot in the way we work, uh, that story is most important. First comes the story, then comes the technique. How we are going to treat a film is completely dependent on how the story is and what is the best way to tell that story. If a story is good enough, if I tell it like this only, like if I verbally tell you, then that is the best possible way. But if a story has to be told with dolls and puppets, and that's the best way to tell that story, then we feel that we should do that. If a story is best told with real people acting, then that is the best way for that. Sometimes a story can be told with lines and without any human forms. Then that is the best form. So all these films that you have seen in the last 6 minutes when I showed you, all of them have different styles. All those small bits of films that you have seen are all in different styles, different mediums. They have used combinations of mediums, whatever is best suited to tell the story most effectively. So that's how we have been working, and majority of the work that you've seen here would be from the advertisements and uh, channel IDs, promos, etc. What I'm going to show you now is a short film that we created, which got released on YouTube via Short of the Week, and on Vimeo. It was also on the Vimeo staff pick. Uh, on the 8th of July, it got released. I'm going to share that film with you now. And today we are going to concentrate on just that film and its making. I'm going to take you through how that film was made, step by step, so that tomorrow, if you are interested, you can also try making a film like that. It is it is as simple as you wanting to do something. For me, I'll tell you why I made the film once you see the film. But I'm sure you would have some questions which regarding how we made the film. So I'll be most happy to share the answers the best way I can. Now let me tell you. So all of you must have done something in your life which made you feel bad. Your act somehow hurts somebody. I mean, sometimes the way you talk to your parents, you are very rude to them. And our conscience would come and tell us, why did I speak like that? I mean, what was the need for me to talk so badly with my parents? Because they just asked me to do this correctly or that do that correctly. If you feel hurt, what would you do? I mean, you may go and tell your mom or dad that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that, I did a mistake by talking to you so badly, or maybe, hitting you or pinching you or something like that. I have done something like that when I was probably 7 or 8, when my mother insisted on doing something, and I bit her hand. I bit her hand, and uh, she she cried. Very strong woman. Okay, my mother is even is 90 right now, but she cried and her tears came out, and she didn't scold me anymore. She just went away. For me to tell you this even now, after maybe 30, 35, 36 years after I've done that, somewhere that guilt is still there in my mind. I have told her sorry. I have told her sorry. My mother doesn't have very good memory now. She doesn't remember things very well. Sometimes she even forgets my name. But even now I go and tell that, I still am feeling bad about what I did to you that time. This film actually started when I was driving to work one of the days, and I'm based in Mumbai, and some of you might can imagine the traffic in Mumbai. And I was driving from Bandra to Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi in Famous Studios was my office. I was crossing the Mahim signal after the church, and there was this girl who was knocking at my window with trying to sell baskets, and I was already late to work. I said no, I don't want anything. I said no, I don't want. And I was constantly looking at the signal when it is going to turn green so I can drive. She continued to do that. And at one point I just looked at her and like very brashly said, just go. Jao, idhar se. The girl was really shaken by my look, maybe my eyes or the way I was angry with her. She got a rude shock. And the signal turned green and I went. The next half an hour when I was driving, I was feeling that she's such a small girl. She would be like 6 or 7 or maybe 8 at the most. And she was wearing some school uniform. What I felt was that, what if that girl was not a regular begging person? We always say that, don't encourage giving money to the children, because somebody might be exploiting them, and if you pay them money, then somebody else would put more children to this begging sort of a thing. So you always feel that you shouldn't do it. But this was something different. I felt, the girl was going to school probably, and what would have made her come to the road to sell baskets? I felt terrible about it. That, the rest of the ride, I felt terrible about it. And I went back to that road again, and I couldn't see that girl ever again. This incident happened in 2008. In 2009, I started making a film just as a tribute to this little girl who I hurt unintentionally or intentionally. And I feel many people like me must be so insensitively talking to them badly, behave in a rude way. And I felt I need to do something that would change, or at least make people feel that, one should be more sensitive to the needy. So that is how I started making the film. 2009, I began making the film. I finished it only in 2017. It took 8 years to make this film of 14 minutes. Now, it's almost like the child who's who's like really feeling so bad that, she's like, okay, you hurt me so much in that 1 second, take 8 years of punishment, go ahead and suffer. So it's almost something like that. I felt this film is taking forever and ever and ever, and I thought at some point I'll abandon the project, but we went ahead and finished it in 2017. So, just to give you a background, I was working with young animators in my studio who were not used to working with long duration of animation. We were working with 30 seconds to 1 minute of films, as you must have seen in my montage that I played earlier. So here was an opportunity to do something longer and something that is our own, something that is not for, a brand to show as an advertisement or something, but something that we wanted to share with the world as a message. And we wanted to do something that is of a quality that is never done before. So we wanted the world to know that India can do great animation films and tell the stories beautifully using our animation. Till animation is always considered as a technique in India and not a medium of storytelling. And that is a perception that we wanted to consciously change. So I'm going to now take you through the process. I'm sure last 2 days you were all going through various workshops by eminent speakers and experts who must have taken you through what goes on behind animation. Stop motion animation is something that is one of the oldest form of animation. I think before the 2D animation also, stop motion animation was the first thing that people tried out with puppets and papers and paper cutouts, etc., etc. I'm sure you must have gone through that, some sort of a history of animation. I don't want to take you through that. So when I decided on this story, first thing I did is I narrated the story like the way I felt to my crew members, my the people in my studio who were learning animation, who were going to work on this film. I told them the story, and I could see that they were all feeling very greatly attached to the story. That is the first thing that you need for a story. That, when you narrate a story to somebody, it needs to click with people. That, it needs to make people feel. Some of you who watched the film must have felt an emotion and connect to the child in the film, the father in the film, the relationship with the father and the child. And you get the gist of that feeling, basically, right? I mean, you can feel, you can see yourself, you can see your father, you can see fathers can see their daughters. So, these characters are there, but you replace these characters with someone in life. And that's exactly what we wanted it to happen. So the story has an appeal, it has an emotional appeal, and that was the first thing that we felt, that since it is connecting with people, I started writing the story first. And the writing is something that sometimes very difficult with people, all of them to understand. So I narrated it again, whatever I've written. Then I did a storyboard. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play the first part of the pre-production, where we um, did the storyboarding for the film, and we did some character design. So the characters are all from people I've seen, people we have seen around. These are all characters from India, In Mumbai, you get to see so many different faces. We did go to the place where these children were making baskets where they used to stay. So we got a lot of ideas about how they went about their daily lives, and that gave us a good reference. So as you can see, there were a wide variety of uh, stages. So there was obviously the storyboard, rough storyboard, thumbnail storyboard, and after that a fair storyboard. And when then we put it up all over the place and we take everyone through the story. I would tell that this is the way the story is moving. And Aditya, I'm getting a lot of requests for joining. Is it something that you're handling or should I handle?
So that we are handling.
Okay, all right. So, because maybe you made me a host or something. So, after the storyboard stage, we did animatics. Animatics is a very important stage where you draw main frames of the animation in 2D so that you can really get the sense of story movement, whether and whether your framings, your cuts, everything is working. Unlike live action cinema, where you go and shoot a lot of performances and you edit the film eventually. In animation, you make exactly the same duration that you have to make. You don't shoot like 3 hours to make a 15 minutes of film. You make only 15 minutes of animation. So your planning has to be precise. And in animation, you have to edit first. You have to make sure your editing is done before you shoot. You have to also make sure that your camera lensing is fixed before you shoot, and your storyboard is setting a reference for what sort of camera angle that you need. So it is pretty complex in this pre-production part, and how much of a detailing you get into at the pre-production stage, it's better. Now, how do an animator goes to make the character act? Okay, and acting is done by you moving little by little. If it's a clay puppet, for a blink from big eyes to small, you keep putting clay pieces on the top and bottom to make it blink, and for maybe 12 frames you do that and the eyes will blink like that. So that action, you need to know exactly when that blink is going to happen, exactly when the smile is going to happen. So you have to make your cheeks expand, you sculpt your face to make the smile come alive. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. You so many frames you need to have to make it play, and like you have one smile. So it is very laborious in that sense. Some people do animation with different heads. So here we have done it by sculpting every frame. In the when you replace the head, you have many frames of the head, many expressions of the head. You just keep changing the head. You remove the head of smiling and put a angry one or an in between of that, and you can animate it. But here we were doing it frame by frame sculpting. So how does an animator guess what is the acting? So for them, we made all the animators act their parts, like their characters. Like, you must have seen in our own animators with our office, our studio artists and designers, they were all sitting and acting the parts, and they were getting it, they're editing and getting a gist of the timing and the camera angle approximately. So they get a clarity of what they're going to achieve when they're animating. It's a good exercise for you all to do when you want a reference. And like, if you want an expression of a person like getting shocked, you need to do this action, and then you can look at this action and you can animate. You can break down this action into small pieces, frame by frame, and understand how this action happened, and you can animate it. So you need to look at yourself, and many animators have a habit of keeping a mirror in front of themselves to draw the faces. Like, they most of the time they make faces like that. It's very important for an animator to look at the expressions and the acts. So body language, everything is important. So that's why we did that. And with the traffic and other situations, we also had to figure out what is the scale of the animation. What is how big is the set going to be? So that's why we have done an experiment with thermocol vehicles, it's called blocking. You actually know that this is a shot that we are going to do, what speed the vehicle should move, how much distance, how much size we should make the vehicles, because in the film we have used two different scales. I'll come to that. For all the expressions of the child and the father, we have used a different puppet. And for all the long shots which is happening in the in on the road, we have used a puppet which is half the size of the puppet that is used for the facial expressions. So so that we can get the scale down, you know. Even then it was a almost like a 20 feet, 25 feet by 20 feet sort of a set. It's a big set, big room. I'll come to that. So this is how we went ahead with the pre-production. And if you have any questions, please reserve it. I'll answer you. I'm going to take you through the next module of our making, which is the characters of Tokri. You know, I'm going to show you what are the characters, how did we come about those characters, and how did we make these models. So they were all internationally, it is done with a very scientific sort of a technique. Here we had to do it with very basic material, which you can see it here. The model, you know, again, making the interior for the house, the first 5 years went into doing the interior of the house. And also you must remember that, you know, these sequences, this animation is done when we don't have too much work in the advertising or the projects that bring revenue. So it was always on the back burner. So whenever we went back to the work, you know, we had to like get into the groove, you know, again practice a little bit and get into the flow. Okay, so we used to lose quite a bit of time like that too. It's not you know, because somebody is working on another project, you're switching and coming back to this project, it will take some time and to get into the flow. So the challenging thing was, most challenging part was when we were working on the exterior of the situation. The set that is required for the exterior was big challenge. And you know, how realistic we have to make it. And I have replicated the same area where the incident happened in my life, in Mahim. We have shuffled it a bit here and there, but you know, it is all, the landmarks are all very similar. So we wanted to recreate that sort of an architecture over there. And it took us almost 6 to 7 months to build the sets for that situation. All the vehicles were created. They were obviously, they were not functional, they were all animated. And we used different models. Even the pavement, each and every brick and the tile were created with a mold, and it was all stuck together for the setup. I'm going to show you the set making part of both the interior and the exterior section. This is one of the most amazing part of creativity when it comes to stop motion animation, to create environments and making them believable. And it took, for the exterior section, like I said, it took 6 to 7 months to do it, from the planning and the execution. And the detailing, everything was quite tough, no compromise made. So like I said, the first 5 years till 2014, we had all of our in-house animators who were learning with us, working. And we finished around 9 minutes of animation in 5 years. And the last 5 minutes, which included the exterior section, that is when we thought whether we should continue the film or not, or whether, you know, we should abandon the project. And that is where we got Adam to lead the animation team for those 3 to 4 months. And we had to prepare for almost 6 to 7 months before, including the set making, etc. And it was all done. He finished his work for 5 minutes in almost 4 months. But there was a largish team assisting him from our end to do that. Now I'm going to show you music. It's quite amazing. Music director Rajat Dholakia, very great friend, very renowned music director. While we took 8 years to do the visuals, he took only one day to crack the music. he did the music in just one day. One single day, he came. He knew that he wanted a violinist and a banjo player. That's it. And then he used because he said there is a string instrument, and banjo is kind of a wind instrument, and the bass or the drum part is coming from the noise and the sound of the city, so that completes the music track without having any drums or any sort of percussion, because the percussion and the rhythm is from the movement of the the vehicles, the train, all those sound effects that are backing it is giving that percussive sort of a bass to the soundtrack. So he just finished it in just one single day. Of course, sound design, the sound effects part took almost 2.5 months to do, because we had to collect all the sound. That also I'm going to share with you how we went about it. So the genius of Rajat Dholakia, we call him Juku. That's his nickname. Musicians come and do such amazing work because they're so inspired by the visuals of the film that they gave life. In animation film, they say more than 50% of life of an animation film comes from the sound, the music, both sound and music put together. So it's so important for them to breathe in that life into the film with so much thoughtfulness, so much feeling. It was magical for me to be around there and see that experience. And I'm going to show you the last module of the sound design, which is something that again something that took quite a bit of time in terms of getting all the tracks actually recorded from the location. So that's that, guys. Uh, I've taken you through these 6 modules of making of the film. I think
Thank
you
you.
would be now in a position to ask me questions after
Yes,
having
sir. Yes, sir.
seen the work that has gone.
Yes, sir. We have a series of questions that have come up. On behalf of all the participants and
Okay.
everybody, I would first and foremost like to, congratulate you and your entire team for such a beautiful,
So much.
heart-touching, and an incredibly universal film. Which I guess has its own beauty and own language, and can can
Right.
touch every heart possibly across the world. Uh, I think we are very fortunate, sir, to have you here and to have insights from your this vast experience and body of work. Uh, with Cinevidya, we also try to reach out to a lot of people, a lot of children all over India.
Huh.
Today, we are joined with the children who are right from northeast to Uttarakhand to Bhuj and Kutch to Kerala, of course. And we have a participant. Her name is Khadija, and she is very keen to ask you a question. But I think she may ask the question in Malayalam, and
Okay.
because she is. And then maybe you could answer for everybody in English. So I'll ask her to
Sure.
come
Sure.
online.
ഹലോ സർ
Huh. Hello. Hello.
എന്താണ് ഇൻസ്പിറേഷൻ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു വെറൈറ്റി ഓഫ് കരിയർ എടുക്കാൻ
It's a career എടുക്കാനോ?
ലൈക്ക്
Okay.
എന്താ
Hmm.
പറയാ ആനിമേഷൻ ഫീൽഡ് ആരും ചിന്തിക്കാത്തതല്ലേ
അത് ശരിയാണ്. So she's asking me a question, why did I choose a field like animation? It's not something that comes to people naturally, right? So I'll answer for her and everybody in English. Basically, for me, my education at NID, I studied at National Institute of Design. I got admission from Kerala, Khadija. After I finished my 12th grade, I got admission at NID in Ahmedabad. And that 5 years or 5.5 years I took to study there actually changed my life. In fact, for all of you to select what you want to study and where you want to study is so important that way. I had no idea about animation before. I went to NID 91. I finished in 97. There is absolutely no idea about animation. And when I even got out of NID after finishing in animation, nobody in industry knew about making films in animation. In 97, I'm talking about just 20 years ago. So one had to work the way up to figure out how we can find opportunity to do films like this and make animation popular. So it is something that we have tried to make an effort to make animation popular. And today there are a lot of people who want to get into animation. It was not the case. From NID, our 30 student batch, I was the only person in animation. That too, I didn't want to take up animation, to be really honest. My teacher suggested that I should take up animation. And I wanted to be an engineer. And somehow I got into NID and my life course changed completely. I went into design and films and all those things. It is completely the credit to the institute that I studied to make me give so much of make me uh, get me so much of exposure and make me confident enough to go out and do the work that I'm doing today. So it is so important at this stage where and what you study. I think one of the important things that I would urge all of you is that where your passion is, where your love is, and that is where you can do your best. It is not like what your parents would suggest you do this. You need to find out. I'm sure parents are doing their duty to tell you go and listen to this guys talking and you go and listen to this lecture. It's their duty to expose you to find out what your real passion is. So it is very, very important for you to identify that it's not easy. It's not easy. Today I'm trying, even today I'm pursuing some other passion. I'm doing a lot of paintings nowadays. So, it keeps changing, but it is a great thing if you do an occupation in life, a career option in your life, which is actually something that is your passion or something like your hobby, so that you enjoy every day of what you're doing at work. So that is something very important. So when I got into NID, it was and got into animation, it was not something very conscious like you think. It is something that very happened by accident, but it worked out for me.
Oh wow, super! It's
Thank you,
such
sir.
a wonderful memory that you have recollected for all of us. Thank you, Suresh sir. Thank you so much. We have one last question, I guess, because we are also running a bit out of time. We have one question coming from a participant in Varanasi. Her name is Aditi.
Yes.
Hello, sir. It's a
Right.
pleasure talking to you. So my
Lovely.
basic question, thank you, sir. So my question was that what's the significance for your movie's name, the Tokri?
It's the basket, right? That the kid is making to change her life. The whole family, uh, I mean, the ties kind of got shaken up when that watch broke. And her hope to get that family back to its original state of affairs is through building these tokeries. And the tokery is one of the reasons why, seeing the effort that the child has taken to bring back normalcy to the house, the father realizes his mistake of not identifying the love that daughter extended towards him. And he realizes that my child has done so much to make me happy, to repair that watch with her own hard-earned money. Hence, the tokery plays a big role. And more than anything, it's not tokery making is not something that she has. In the beginning, also, if you see, the child likes to make tokery to help her mother. And moment she hears the father come in, she quickly removes the tokery and to the side and takes a book. So because the father wants her to learn, get educated, and do something good in life, he doesn't want them to continue in the way they are living right now. For that, she needs to get educated. So he has insisted that she needs to get educated. But tokery always is there behind, and it's always there in the house. So tokery hence becomes a very important aspect of the
Okay,
all
covers.
the turns in the story.
Covers.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We have a very fabulous personality with us, Mr. Kavas. He would like to ask a question with you, sir.
Hi, Kavas. Hi. Can hear
Yeah,
you.
Suresh, it's so nice to talk to you on the media. I've been following you on Instagram. You are
Okay.
fabulous.
Thank you so
Uh,
much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
this your office work that you showed is virtually like the history of animation in India. It covers practically the total range. It's absolutely fabulous.
Thank
And needless to say that your labor of love, Tokri,
uh
it's so outstanding. My question is that,
Yeah.
first of all, of course, I congratulate you and your dedicated and talented team. They have to be so dedicated to work on a project for 9 years, 10 years, uh, to be able to make a 20-minute film.
Right.
It's a pure labor of love. Now, tell
Absolutely.
me that the kind of an experience that your team must have gained in this, it is priceless. How do you intend to carry this forward?
No, what has happened is that while all the intention has been great, like I told you, the original team for which I made this film, they left us in 2014 or 15. They are all doing well. They are all doing well with the experience that they gained from this education, working on this film has given them exposure, confidence, all those things. My objective was that this is a craft of animation that needs to be carried forward by many young people. So if we make a landmark film like this and more people wanting to make something like this, is something that would be making a precedent. And more and more young people are coming to us trying to do stop motion animation film, which is very encouraging as a response to this, which is even though there are not many institutes that teach them stop motion animation, it's not something that is, and there is no, to be really honest, there is no outlet unless and until we tomorrow make a series or a feature film in stop motion animation. The world will not see the commercial part of the, then only there will be an industry formation. So they have learned a lot. They have been applying stop motion in a very very good way, um, and I'm sure they are also taking trainees like we did by taking them as a trainee. And so more people should learn from this small bunch of people that is just growing right now. So that is the hope, really, and that is the intent. In fact, we wanted to resurrect stop motion animation with this film. That's one of the reasons why we began this exercise also, and to make we people around the world know that India is capable of doing such world-class stop motion animation. Nobody ever can imagine that there is no reference to Indian animation when it comes to stop motion. So it is very very important. I felt that we did something like this.
Okay, that's great. That's fabulous. Thank you, Suresh sir. I think there is a huge amount of inspiration that all our participants will gain with your kind presence and with your blessings to everybody. We feel extremely honored and very, very delighted to have you with us today.
Thank you so much, Amzab. I think it's a great vision that you are carrying forward with this sharing platform, especially in these times when such learning platforms are available for all of them to get exposures. And one of the good things about this lockdown period is that accessibility to people is become much more easier, and it's a great boon for youngsters to get exposed and get interested, find out where their interest lies. I mean, all the very best to you and your team, fabulously organized. Aditi, Pratyansha, all of you, amazing.
Siddesh is our editor, so
Yeah,
everybody
yes,
has.
Siddesh, yeah, Siddesh, yeah. Thank you so much for all the effort that you've been following up with me, and thanks to all the listeners, children, adults, all of you, for being so patiently listening to this process. I hope there is some learning from this, and I hope to see some great growth coming out of all of you. And I'll be very happy if there is this presentation has any inspiration or a spark to provide that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so
With
much.
these kind words,
Thank you
we
so
are
much.
truly grateful to you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Bye.